Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Gameweek 2 deadline stream with me, Holly Shand. I've gone a slightly earlier than advertised because I was already early. I knew I had the nursery run to do, but we're here. We've got just over an hour to the deadline. Remember, it's a 6:15 deadline, not 6:30. I know if you're on different time zones, that will make no sense, but you've got an hour and 7 minutes essentially to lock in those teams and transfers. It's been a busy week, lots of injury news, lots to prepare now as well. So thank you to everyone that is joining on the stream. If you are here, please come and say hello in the chat and start dropping your questions in as well. I'm going to try and get through as many as possible today. I'm getting there with my team. I am having a last minute waiver on Captain Haaland v Captain Salah. But I've been on Captain Haaland all week. A little bit of concern that maybe the City team isn't as strong as it could be, but still, first home game of the season, having won the treble and the Super Cup, I think they'll be on red hot form anyway. I don't like making late changes to the squad, so I think I am going to hold firm, but, you know, I am wavering a little bit. I could be convinced. Let's put it that way. I can see lots of you in the chat already. Hello to some new members to the channel. David, Eddie and Naldi. Karen, thanks so much for the support, guys. Lots of questions already. I can see Chloe is in the chat. Simon is on the moderating for us tonight, as is VJ. So really appreciate that one as well. And I can see some other faces in the chat as well. Chris is in, Mr. Nobody, Saba, Mohammed. Ethan is in, as is Phonetic, Mayron, Proper, Light Rays is in. So good to see so many of you. Hit the like button if you haven't done already. We're trying to get the stream to 100 likes first off, so thank you so much. I'm going to go through some questions and I'm just going to get straight into it today. Nuno has said, so looking forward to the amazing content. Should we stick with double United midfield, Bruno and Rashford? Yeah, I think you should give them one more week at least. We kind of want Rashford on the wing. Fernandes has kind of been looking like he's assisting the assister, but he could come good. Just looking at the predicted points for this week on Fantasy Football Hub, Haaland top on 8.3 predicted points, Salah second on 7.1, Fernandes and Rashford a third on fourth and 5.5 predicted points. So that just goes to show that, you know, they could punish you. So if you want to get those predicted points, you can get them on Fantasy Football Hub. If you remember, the link is in the chat, also in the description to the video. Bad the guy says, will Stones start? No, Stones is out. There's been quite a few confirmed injuries today. You can see them flagged on the website. Yeah, Stones is red flagged, Mitrovic is red flagged, and Reece James all been red flagged, and Bernardo Silva in today's press conferences. So that's one to keep an eye on as well. VJ has said, how good is Chukwuemeka? I think he is going to be decent. It depends if Chelsea do look to strengthen in that position. 4.5 million midfielder, you can't really go wrong. I'm just a bit concerned. Obviously, Chelsea's fixtures are really, really great over the next 5 game weeks. The trouble is Chukwuemeka in the optimal Chelsea triple up? That's the big question mark. I think if you've got him, then that's fine. But I don't know whether I'd buy him. I think we're going to be, you know, properly lumping on these Chelsea players come game week 3. Luton at home, Forest at home, Bournemouth away, Villa at home. And I think it would just be useful to give them one more week, really get a little bit more information before locking in on, you know, the best Chelsea assets. That's why the big advice for this week is to roll the transfer. We don't even know who's on penalties at Chelsea either. Chloe has said, I've got 2 dilemmas. Which 2 defenders to start? Henry, Gabriel and Colwill. I would start Henry and Colwill, I think. If we have a look at the defender points predictions for game week 2. So Henry is on 3.2 points. Colwill is on 3.1 points. And Gabriel is on 2.9. Yeah, so I think, yeah. Salah or Haaland captain. That is a really close call. I'm on Haaland captain. A lot of managers that have Salah are on Salah captain. You just need to trust your gut on that one. Don't let me influence you. You just go with what you think is best for your team. I've gone with the AI recommendation of Haaland captain. Sandra Mean says, March or Mbomo, please help. Tricky one. If we look at the fixtures over the next 5, Brentford are slightly higher than Brighton. If you've got another Brighton attacker in like João Pedro, I think it makes the decision easier, but it's a close call. Naldi says, recommendation, triple captain. I wouldn't use a chip like a triple captain this week. I don't think the fixtures are strong enough. You can wait until Haaland's got a really nice home fixture, or you could also look to maybe using it in a week where some teams have more than one game and you've got 180 minutes for them to perform over. I'm just going to move back. I've got the chat open, but I'm just moving back to the big screen just so that I can... so that you can see everything going on better. But hopefully you're finding it useful. 70 likes already. Let's get that to 100. The Spurs have said, should I start Trippier and Botman, but I have Eze on the bench? I don't fancy Newcastle's clean sheet potential. And I wouldn't bench Eze either because he's on penalties. I feel like it's very, very difficult in FPL to bench a player that's on pens. I don't think Arsenal at home is that bad a fixture. Scott has asked, start Colwell or Gabriel. I would start Colwell of those two. VJ says, very few experts have mentioned Trippier this season. It's the fixtures, but I think that could turn, certainly after this week even. Newcastle, I think Liverpool at home, Brighton away, Brentford at home, still a bit more challenging. But if you have a look at the predicted points for defenders over the next 4 game weeks, Trippier is ranked 6th on 15.8 points. I think he will share set pieces with Tonali, so that makes him less appealing than maybe has been last season. So that's just something to keep an eye on. We're on 87 likes, guys. Let's try and get over to 100. The more you like the stream and comment and get involved in the chat, then it just puts this out to more people and hopefully helps the stream to grow and keep the channel going and investing in the channel. Chris has asked, and Ciso or Tarkowski for game week 2. Will Ciso start? That's the issue. Tarkowski will start, but Villa away is not easy. I think maybe the attacking player. I'm not making any transfers now. Keep Eze. I mean, honestly, guys, those selling Eze, just look at the numbers from last week. Who had the most shots last week? Eze with 8. Who made the most key passes last week? Eze with 7. You know, it's just a no-brainer. Remember, you can get all of the stuff that I'm showing you on stream on Fantasy Football Hub with 50% off right now. So if you're not a member already, do go check that out. I'll pin that in the chat as well, and then you can obviously see and be able to sign up. But I don't think this 50% offer will be around forever. So certainly if you're thinking, shall I go for it, shall I not, then, you know, this is the best time to sign up with the discount that you can get at the moment. I'm just going to jump to some member questions because I do not want to miss them. Sam said, hi, Holly, back for another week of big surprises. I hope that this stream is not as bad as last week's, honestly. Last week was just... I felt drained coming off the stream last week. That's how bad it was. I mean, it had been a long week anyway. However, yeah. Naldi says, hello, honey, love you, thank you. Simon says, evening all, as does Killer at. Gabby says, Udoji or Gusto, please. I mean, Gusto is a punt that could come off. I mean, if we look in the 4.5 bracket, hang on, I've filtered the wrong thing here. If you look at the cheaper defenders, it's a bit slim pickings. So both of them could be worth a punt. It's not going to work for me now, is it? I think Gusto's got really high upside, but the only worry with him is that he's not going to be a starter That's the only thing that you've really got to bear in mind on this. So that's why I probably look to a Doji for a bit more consistency. I know he didn't start in game week 1, but I think he will be a starter from here on in. So make sure that you're considering him in your selections. I feel like if you can roll a transfer this week and make the move next week, then that would be, you know, the way to go about it. But you've also got to think about, we'll have more information next week for sure. It's just whether it's the right decision for your team or not. And it is very specific to different managers, that one, to make that decision. We've reached 100 likes already and there's over 200 of you in. That's brilliant. Brilliant, guys. Thank you for joining. I am going to keep jumping over to Twitter/X. Reece James expected to be out for just over a month. That's some news coming in from a Chelsea journalist. There's quite a lot of discussion on the Paqueta was meant to be going to City from West Ham, and he's just been implicated in some betting scandal by the looks of things. So that's obviously a bit of a dent. I'm just keeping an eye on whether there's any early team news coming through. I did have actually this from FPL Heisenberg. This is Forest team news. Turner and Gibbs-White start. He wasn't sharing a full squad. I think those are the ones that FPL managers are most interested in. And he also confirmed that Awoni starts tonight for Forest as well. I know there's not a huge amount of interest in the Forest and Sheffield United game from an FPL perspective. However, you never know. We could get some other leaks on Twitter or elsewhere. So you know what happened last week with the Gabriel leak. So just keeping an eye on things as well. Just making sure I've not missed any member questions. Our Linford is in. Missed the press conference stream, but getting caught up and ready for the game week. Good luck. Hope you do well. Naldi says Haaland or Pedro captain. I think for this reason, I would probably go with Haaland. I think other than Salah, I don't think anyone else is a credible alternative. Let's start a poll. I know I asked this earlier, but it might have changed. Game week 2, captain, and the options are going to be Haaland, Salah, and other. See what you say. Oh, Sandeep has joined as a member. Thank you very much, Sandeep. Appreciate that. I don't know if I've missed a question from you, Sandeep, but if I have, just ask it again. Sam has said, thoughts on one of the Liverpool attackers as a punt? I know it sounds like a knee-jerk move, but I feel double United was a mistake. Yeah, I think it's really difficult. I mean, Diaz is probably the most obvious one, but I would only buy a Liverpool attacker this week if it's something that you're looking to do long-term. In terms of the predictions over the next few weeks. Oh, you've gifted a membership as well. Thank you. Don't know who's got that yet. Shamil. Look at you, Shamil. Make sure you're saying thank you to Sam. If we look at Liverpool predictions over the next 4 game weeks, I mean, Salazar is an interesting one because he's on set pieces, so he could be worth getting. Beyond that is Diaz, but I would only buy a Liverpool attacker if you're happy to hold them for a few weeks. Looking at the fixtures, it's Bournemouth, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Wolves, West Ham. So you can get a nice run of 5 fixtures there out of them, but you need to be buying them with that 5 game week window in mind rather than just looking, you know, really short term in terms of your moves there. Did I miss a question from Sandeep or not? Can't see one. But do ask if you've got one. Just trying to keep up to date with all the questions. The chat is already moving too fast for you guys, but keep the questions coming and I'm going to do my best. I was trying to go in order, but, it's just absolute carnage. I'm just going to have to go at them as they come in. Linford says, do you think Haaland will start? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who have City actually got? I mean, if we look at this account on Twitter is great, actually. This is Emma Jump the Wave, who takes all the predicted lineups from the City, I think it's from the Blue Moon Forum, and then collates them together. Looks fairly set this week in terms of Edison, Walker, Akanji. Bit of a question mark as to who's going to be the second centre-back, and Ake. Then we've got Rodri, Kovacic, Alvarez, Foden, Grealish, Haaland. And there's not that many other options. Cole Palmer, could he get a start? Literally, it's really thin on the ground. So, yeah, Haaland's going to start. Absolutely. Sandeep said, how could I offset a negative hit? I mean, I don't know if you've made a transfer or not yet, Sandeep, but I would recommend rolling a transfer. If you've had injury issues, you may have needed to take a hit this week. But if you can get 11 men out now, then that's what I would do. But, it's a long way to go in the season. So don't feel like you need to do something really, really bold to try and make up the hit, because it's too early for that. I think you just need to bide your time now. Kind of maybe learn the mistakes of maybe if you've gone in on a big hit to start the season when you didn't really need to, and just give your assets time to perform. I wouldn't take any unnecessary risks. Naldi says, how about João Pedro triple captain? Do not use your triple captain. It is way too early. Shamil says, Haaland is dangerous, hungry, player hungry for a goal. I've got to agree. Captaincy at the moment is 55% Haaland and 38% Salah. Very interesting numbers there. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Sabah says, Eze, keep or sell, hold on to him. Man says, Gabriel or Shaw on the bench. I think just because there's a bit more concern about whether Gabriel starts, I'd go Shaw. I don't know if there's a lot of difference in their clean sheet potential. Let's have a look at FPL Salah. So he always posts the clean sheet probabilities. Here we go. Yeah, so Manchester United at 29%, Arsenal at 48%. That's actually quite surprising. I didn't expect it to be as high as that. Maybe you play Gabriel then. Ignore me. Interestingly, all the Arsenal accounts are predicting that Gabriel starts this week. So another thing to maybe consider in your selection. Haaland's winning the poll on captaincy then. I don't know if that's just because people are voting for kind of what they're doing in their own team. I am going to put another poll live. Are you starting Turner this week? Is anyone going to watch the Forest game? Oh no, I've typed that in wrong. I don't want to be on a Q&A. I want to be on poll. See how invested people are for the first game of the game week. Probably the follow-up question is, are you watching the game? I don't think I will, to be honest. I might do. Could be tempted. Simon says he's holding Gabriel. Shamil says keep the first transfer. Yeah, if you can, then yes, I would do. Rashid said, can I use wildcard? If your team is in an absolute mess, then yeah. But I don't think it's really necessary. I did post a short earlier this week, by the way, in terms of what team to go with if you are looking to do that this week. I think it did have Reece James in it, though, so it probably needs a little bit of an update. But yeah, I think there's still plenty to consider in there on maybe what to go with and what not to go with. We've hit 150 likes, guys. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Simon's made a good point that actually the Forest game isn't actually on TV in the UK. It says it all. I think I'll probably put a movie on tonight anyway. Drop any movie suggestions in the comments as well. Oh dear. Sandeep says, my little brother has done too many transfers. Any way to offset a big kit? Yeah, there's two options. Either play the wildcard button or the free hit button is my advice, Sandeep. And that will, so say if you've taken a -40 hit, if you hit the wildcard button, it'll go down to 0. You get unlimited changes for free. However, you only get 2 wildcards a season. The free hit does the same thing, but it only changes your team for 1 week. So I think in your case, the wildcard is the way to go. Neil says, first time I've made both streams in one day. Long time member, Neil. It's good to see you. I've decided to stay safe and captain Haaland. Only call to make was Chilwell or Akanji and gone Chilwell. Yeah, I've got to agree with that. Muckwith said Turner or Johnston. I think you can probably see fairly obvious from my team. Turner over Johnston. Now you can get the kind of your optimal team if you go on Fantasy Football Hub using the My Team tool. So you can see, you can do this for your team and your goalkeeper decision as well. But you'll be able to see on my team with Johnston, he's predicted to score less points this week than Turner. And if you actually look at the predicted points for goalkeepers in game week 2, sorry if you was on the stream earlier and you've seen this again, because it is the same thing, but just to show you, Martinez, Becker, Alisson, and Edison are the only players predicted to score more points than Turner this week. So if you're a Ramsdale owner, a Leno owner, Sanchez, Johnson, Flecken, Onana, the advice is to start Turner over them. It's all going to end in tears when Sheffield United score in the opening minutes, but sometimes you just have to back the probabilities. Sorry, I'm flicking between different windows here, aren't I? Keep the questions coming then, guys. Salman says Alvarez. All the City journalists seem to think that Alvarez will start, so I think that's encouraging. Tricky fixture, but it will be on set pieces without De Bruyne in. Who should I start this week? Gabriel, Colwill or Pau Torres? I mean, the Arsenal clean sheet percentage is really high, but I fancy Eze to do well. So I'd say Colwill, because I don't feel like I trust Villa's defence with that high line they were playing against Newcastle United. Interestingly, if you look at the defensive stats of teams from the game against Newcastle, Aston Villa conceded the highest number of big chances with 9. Like, that's really high. They were by no means the worst team in terms of the number of shots on goal they conceded, or even the number of shots on target they conceded. Oh, they were top shots on target, but yeah, the chances they conceded were really great chances for the opposition. I'll just keep trying to put my team on screen as well so that you know what I'm doing. Shamal asked about Diaby. Yeah, great fixture this week. I think Diaby looks like the real deal. Sam said he hopes that the first game of every game week is one with one of the big clubs to get all the team leaks. Yeah, I will just pop back over on the tweet deck and just check that there's nothing significant happening. Luckily, it all updates quite slowly. Hang on, this was quite interesting. This is the Manchester United squad. This is the travelling squad. Harry Maguire not in the squad. Martial in the squad. So maybe he gets some minutes and we see Rashford on the wing, which is what we want to see. I think that's it. There's nothing too significant there that's going to see us ripping our teams up. Between Gusto and Gabrielle, I would hold Gabrielle this week, monitor Gusto and make the move next week. That would be my advice. I know it's scary, especially if you think Baldock might miss out this week. Like for my team, we've kind of not really got a bench and it's a bit scary, but I think you just need to get there. We've passed 300 people in the stream. That's amazing, guys. If you are here, help me out. Help me to grow the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. I've had quite a lot of new subscribers over the last week. This time last week, I was on, I think I hit 21,000 subscribers just at the end of the stream. We're getting close to 23,000 subscribers. So anything you can do to support with 45 minutes till the deadline. If you're not subscribed, please do. I think I saw somewhere on my YouTube analytics that only around 30% of people that watch my videos subscribe. So, help me out. I really do appreciate all the support that you can give me. Shall I change the pinned message? Sub to get subscribe for 23k? Why not? Let's do it. Yeah, so if I keep going with some more questions, and then hopefully we could get some glimmers of extra news. But I'm hoping with this stream being a bit quieter than some, I can answer some of your questions. Someone said, talk more about Baldock, please. Yeah, so we had this news. It's been doing the rounds on Twitter. The original news was that he had a bit of a calf strain and could be a doubt. The manager said that he should be okay, but we got this update again. That, yeah, basically he's not going to play. It's not confirmed, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty firm news. My captain this week is Haaland over Salah. Killian says thoughts on Saka over Haaland. No, I wouldn't do it. I think Haaland's the best captain pick this week. Saka away at Palace is not an easy fixture. Vitor says bench one of Trossard, Visser or Eze. I think Trossard is least likely to start, so I'd bench him, but he did score a brace in a behind closed doors friendly against Luton this week, which is interesting. James says bench I can't get my words out. Bench Pedro or Matoma. I think I would bench Matoma because Pedro's on pens. Matthew says, hope they fix the playing points out this week. I think that's just a problem with the app. Maybe if you download the app again, that might just help. Judah says, keep or sell Richarlison. I think you've made your bed. Give him one more week. But the move to Maddison is on. Maddison was really impressive. I think he could be a great pick going forward. Abina, who's your final captain pick? It's Haaland. I'm not moving from Haaland. 78% of managers that are in the stream now, so that's quite a lot of you, are looking to start Turner this week. So we're all going to be in tears when it comes to the clean sheet wiper, which is inevitable. Ariane says, will Gabriel start? I think he probably will. Ryan says Turner or Onana. You got to go Turner. Dan James, I have Gabriel and Eze. What should I do? Keep hold of them. They will both come good. Dan says sell Foden. Absolutely not. City are threadbare. Foden's going to start every game. It's his time to shine. Set pieces. It's all on the table for him. Salah v Haaland for the armband. I'm on Haaland. I can see why people are going Salah. If you want to go Salah, go Salah. Don't let me influence you because I could get the wrong decision. Most people that have Salah are captaining Salah this week. But I personally still want to go Haaland. But don't just do it because that's what I'm doing. It's such a tight call that you've got to make your own decision on that one and own it. Ewan says, who do I drop? Pedro, Bruno, Maddison or Watkins. That is brutal. Maddison is the only one that we don't know is on penalties. So that could be a deciding factor. Justin said, who should I vice captain? Don't think it matters too much. A United midfielder, Saka, and any of those really. Cian says, cash for Saliba for this week. I think I'd just hang on to cash. It's a great fixture. Tyler says, Chilwell or Matty Cash. Ideally, I'd start them both. Matthew says, is it worth taking a -4 to get rid of Stones before deadline? I wouldn't say so, no. I think if you can get away with an 11 this week without taking the hit, then that's going to be the best approach, if I'm honest. Issa says, what's your thoughts on Gusto short term? I'd like to see him start game week 2 and then bring him in game week 3. 4 million is a bargain and he can unlock the rest of your squad. So that's why he's so appealing. But we also need to think about the fact that Chelsea could sign another right back in the window. They don't have to play Gusto there. So we need a little bit of encouragement. His pre-season minutes were quite good, actually. Linford says something about Salah's reaction last weekend makes me want to captain him. I think that is the thing. The biggest thing that put me off was the early Salah sub and the strop last week. I know it is a difficult one. Brian says I've got both Henry and Gabriel. Who to start? I think I'd start Henry, especially because Mitrovic is out. Shamil says no Stones and Diaz again. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Let me just have a look to see if we've got any other news coming our way. Jones is ruled out of the Bournemouth game. Just seen that on Twitter from the Anfield journalist after twisting his ankle. I don't know whether that's... I think it makes Liverpool a little bit less strong. Liverpool, they've really not delivered in the transfer window, have they? I don't know if we've got any Liverpool fans in, but, failing to sign... some big midfielders, having, let a lot of key players go. It's not great, is it? Question, can I get Diaz in for Bruno? I think if you buy him for the long term, it's fine. However, if you went into the season with Bruno, you probably did that for a reason. And I don't think one game is enough time to really assess him on. Melody asked, is Akanji starting? Yeah, I think he will be. And I think he'll probably be playing the Stones role as the inverted wing-back DM position. Asher said, will Saliba start? I've not heard anything otherwise. Sambo says, I've captained Watkins over Haaland. Thoughts? That's bold decision, but probably my third pick for the week on captaincy behind Haaland and Salah. But, if Haaland or Salah go off and Watkins doesn't, then, it is going to have a big dent in your rank. Sean says, who should I start over Akanji, Gabriel or Cash? I think probably Aston Villa's probably got the best clean sheet potential, followed by Gabriel. Ryan says Haaland's performance in the Super Cup was wanting captaining Salah might be safer since the double game for Haaland will tie. He'll be fine. Question on James Ward-Prowse set-piece potential. Yeah, Ward-Prowse looks like a great option. Does he start game week 2, though? Does he come straight into the squad? I might actually look. Another great feature on the hub is that you can get predicted lineups. Hang on, I need to find them now. And these are done by Ben Dinnery. Where are they? Right at the top. I scroll straight past them. Typical. So we need to be right down the bottom for West Ham, don't we? I think this is a members article. Yeah. So Ben expects him to come straight in as the number 10. So if he used to come straight in at the number 10 and dominate set pieces, which he could do, especially with this situation around Paqueta, then he could be a really good pick. So that's one to bear in mind as well. That article you can get as a member on Fantasy Football Hub. as well as all the other tools that I've mentioned in the video that I keep showing you. So if you're not a member on Fantasy Football Hub, please check it out. 50% off right now, okay? Which means it's fantastic value. And if you don't win your mini league, they'll give you your money back, which is just incredible. A few Liverpool fans in the chat not very happy about the situation. Devash says Martinelli to Diaz. I keep Martinelli. He looked fantastic against Forest. Chloe has said my team is Turner, Henry, Estupiñán and Colwell, Mbeumo, Saka, Salah, Rashford, captain, Salah captain, Rashford, Eze, Haaland, Jackson. That looks solid. You've got a good squad there. Honestly, guys, if you can roll the transfer this week, that's the best thing to do in terms of setting up your squad. On the hub as well, you can put your team in and it will optimise you, tell you who best captain pick. It will also give you a recommended transfer. So if you've got injuries, it might give a suggestion. It'll also let you know whether you're better off banking the transfer this week. So for my team, the recommendation is to save the transfer. But the second alternative option is to sell Gabriel for Colwell. And if, you know, I don't see some promise from Gabriel, that's likely the move that I will make going into game week 3. 2 free transfers for next week's obviously going to be quite exciting. We're up to 360 people in. That's phenomenal. Keep dropping your questions. I'm doing my best to answer as many as I can, but the chat is going fast. Shamil says, Chilwell, good defence. Yes, absolutely. Get him in. Mike says, Rodri or Lewis first bench. Not the most exciting. Probably Rodri. Percy says, start Mitoma or João Pedro. I'd go Mitoma. Trevor, start Gabriel or Henry. I think I'd go Henry, but the clean sheet potential says to go with Arsenal. Obviously, Gabriel on the predicted points isn't doing too well. Hang on. Where am I? If we look back at the predicted points by defenders for game week 2, obviously Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, Villa, Forest. Cash is up there, as is Pau Torres, ahead of Chilwell. And then you get some Arsenal defenders coming in. So I'm guessing, yeah, Saliba's on a 3.3, via Henry on a 3.2. So it is a really close call, that your Arsenal defenders v your Brentford defenders for this week. Sagar says, Captain Chilwell this week. I hate captaining defenders in FPL because if they lose the clean sheet and end up with 2 points, you're going to be severely disappointed. So for that reason, I'm going to say don't do it. I think Haaland is the most obvious captain pick this week, followed by Watkins followed by Salah. Some people will go the other way around. That's absolutely fine. Don't just captain Haaland because I am, if you think Salah's the better pick. But then I put Watkins in 3rd place. Okay? Judah says, is Havertz worth investing in? I mean, Jesus could be back soon. He isn't in my top 3 Arsenal picks. That's my thoughts on that one. We've hit 22.9k subs, guys. So if we could get to 23k, that would be amazing. That'd be 2k more than this time last week, which is incredible. Innie says, I have Stones, Gabriel and Baldock. What do you recommend? Transfer out or save the transfer? Save the transfer. Gabriel should start. Opiempo says, Gaita for Sanchez. Gaita isn't first choice at Palace. Sanchez, Chelsea could sign another keeper. Adam says, start Pedro or Vissa. Pedro's on pens, so I think Pedro. There's a lot of people that are struggling because basically their squad's too good. They had Pedro first sub last week and now think that he's starter and are then struggling to know what to do. Let's just pop over to the tweet deck and see what's going on. had a few little nuggets of information through clubs. Yeah, nothing too major. I don't think we're missing out on anything there. Debanch says Eze or Baldock. Eze for me. That's an easy one, that one. Keep the questions coming, guys. I am doing my best to answer as many as I can. And if you members are getting priority on the answers as well. Ovi says, any news for Gabriel? I think he starts this week. Laksham says, Lloris or Pickford? I don't think Lloris will start, so I'll say Pickford for that one. I think that's quite an easy one. My computer's starting to chug. That's never a good sign. Hopefully it stays with me. I need to tell it. Look, there's a lot of people watching, relying on the content. Keep hitting the like button, guys, because if I can get to 400 people here, that'd be amazing. I can't remember what where we peaked last week. I think it was around that 400 mark. So yeah, keep it coming. I'm going to try and do these deadline streams every week, but it's probably only going to be that last hour for a few weeks. Juggling family stuff as well. William says Rico Lewis or Gusto. I think you just take the punt on Gusto. Stephen, Salah to Rashford. I've got 3.5 million in the bank. If you can do that as a free transfer, I'm going to say do it. Absolutely. Get on it. Too tempting. Are you going to captain him as well and double down? Shamil says, I don't have Maddison. That's fine, but have a way to get to... Maddison's going to be a key transfer next week because, again, if we look at the fixtures... Let's look game week 3 to 6. Spurs fixtures improve. Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United are... I'm looking on the right row. Yeah. Probably game week 3 to 5. They're probably higher. Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United. So, yeah. Yeah, stick with Matoma for now, though. I still think he's a good pick as well. You can't just chase last week's points. You've got to invest in players that you think will serve you well in the long term. That's the most important piece of advice. Veniso, Fernandez or Mbomo? Scared Mbomo hauls. What are the predicted odds? I mean, Bruno was fourth, wasn't he? Third even, on 5.5 points. I can't even type. Mbomo on 4.9 points. First super chat in from Daft. Thanks very much. Got Brennan Johnson on my bench. Worth starting over Matoma, Saka or the United duo. Well, you can see how well the United duo are ranking. Saka, again, he's on pens. Great fixture. Johnson's predicted points for this week are 4.1. Matoma's predicted points are 4.7. So I guess the advice is to bench Johnson. It may be that it comes off your bench and comes good, Daff. It's not guaranteed, though. If we have a look at his stats, because he missed a good chance, didn't he, in game week 1? One shot in the box, one big chance. An XG of 0.3. The other thing I'm interested to look at is his home form from last season. So Johnson scored 8 goals last season at 122 points. 7 of those goals came at home. That was quite a big swing. If Johnson's going to score, at home to Sheffield United is when he's going to score. Oh, super chat from Van. Celebrate the first super chat. I'm honoured, Van, to get the first super chat. I can't see your question, though, so if you did have a question with it, do drop it in the chat, and I'll look out for it and make sure that I'm answering it. Thank you for the support. Yeah, if you fancy going Brennan Johnson, I think it would be Matoma would be the one that I would play him over. Nigel the Crab says Johnston isn't starting. Where did we get that info from? Hang on. Have I missed that? Have we got the team sheet? People you follow. I mean, that looks like he probably starts. I mean, I guess if he doesn't start, there'll be a reason why not. So, that's put me off a bit. But I don't. Nigel needs to let me know in the chat, or Simon, sorry, where you've got the info from that Johnson isn't starting. Probably best not to put it in on, or not to post it in the chat unless it's confirmed from a decent source. I should be able to find out though. Hang on. Because I know someone with the team sheet. FPL Heisenberg. Let me send him a DM. I'll find out for you. Johnson start tonight. See if he comes back to me. Did you leave a question, Van? Or was you just being kind? Either way, thank you. Killer Rat's been gifting some memberships. Thank you to Shardle and Ian. Thanks very much for the support. You're very, very kind, Killer Rat. If Killer Rat gifted you a membership, then do say thank you. Adam said, Saka captain, thoughts? I don't love it. I think Crystal Palace away is not the fixture. Diraj, can we stop spamming the chat with fake injury news? We don't need stuff like that coming into the deadline. I'll keep putting my team up. Oh, Daff, that's very kind. Thank you. You didn't need to. I do appreciate it. Right, we're 20 minutes out from the deadline, guys. So I hope you're getting close to locking in your teams. We're also getting quite close to 23. I nearly said 30. Getting a bit ahead of myself. To 23,000 subs, which would be amazing. So if you are watching and you don't subscribe to the channel, please do. You'll be able to then comment on the stream as well, which is a bonus, and hopefully I can answer your question. But honestly, support's been amazing, so thank you. Fahad said, please help Edison or Turner. I mean, this one is a really close call. If we look at the current... let me get the right tab. Get the right page. At the current points predictions on the hub for goalkeepers this week, Edison is ahead of Turner. 4.3 to 4.1. If we look at the... Hang on. Clean sheet odds for this week. Forest 44%, City 42%. I think because of the routes to points for Turner, I kind of quite like to go with that. That's what I think. Question from Bavesh. Upgrade Matoma to Maddison. If you've got the 1 million in the bank and you can do the straight swap, then it could work out. However, I do think that you're better off going into next week with the 2 free transfers. Messi says, will Webster play? Did he play last week? I can't remember now. Was he had a bit of a knock, didn't he? No, he didn't play last week. Is he in the predicted lineups? We'll trust the Oracle. I seem to have lost any sort of scrolling. Sorry, I know that's not very pleasant to have that flicking through your screen. Yeah, he's predicted to start. Hang on. FPL Heisenberg is coming back to me with news on Johnson. Hopefully. I've got the ... think Johnson does start, because we're reading into that. It's not absolutely confirmed, but hopefully that helps you out, Daff. Clara, how many memberships did you gift? There's members all over. I do appreciate it, though. Sam says, which movie have you decided on watching? I don't have no idea yet, but I've got a house to myself tonight, so it's been a long week. So I'll see. Probably one that my other half won't enjoy. I mean, I might... Is the Newcastle documentary out yet? Maybe go football themed. Stones replacements. I think Akanji is okay. Or you could go down to Colwill or Gusto or Henry. Vanger says, I sent a super chat. Richarlison or Matoma this week, please. If that's to start, I think I'd go Matoma. Another super chat in from Cryptic. First super chat. Thank you so much. I know it's a differential, but do you think it's worth captaining Jota? Hang on, I've lost it. Nigel, what have you done? Is it worth captaining Jota? No. No, I don't think so, because it's not guaranteed to start. Cryptic, sorry about that. Can you just put your question back in the chat and I'll answer it again. Sorry. Oh, nightmare. I don't think it's worth captaining Jota, though. There's no guarantees he actually starts. Paul says, have I missed any leaks? No, I don't think so. He could start. It's not guaranteed. I think you just need to be careful in terms of captaincy. I think in terms of who you're going to go for, you can start with possibly going with Salah or Haaland. I also think there's some other good options in there. However, Jota seems a little bit of a risk. I hope that's answered your question, but if you just want to put it in the chat, don't do another super chat, but just put it in the chat. And we'll sort that out. 15 minutes to the deadline. Scary times. If we have a look at the tweet deck, see if anything's going on. Oh, what is happening? Nothing too drastic. I think we're okay. I'll put my team back on screen as well. So, Cryptic, captaining Jota or Watkins. I don't mind Watkins. In terms of the options this week, I think Watkins has got a great fixture. Even though he didn't deliver against Newcastle, he did look good. If you look at his underlying numbers, 2 shots, 1 on target, 2 key passes. There's certainly potential there. So I don't mind the Watkins shout. I prefer the Watkins shout to the Jota shout because he's on penalties as well, which certainly helps him. You've got to just think about the routes to points, but just know the risks. If Haaland scores a hat-trick and Watkins blanks, then you're not gonna do that well. You just got to know the risks. Keep hitting the like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel as well. We're nearly at 300 likes, which is amazing. Really, really pleased to see that. I've got another super chat in as well from DJ Angelus. I'm just going to, whilst I'm answering your question, I'm just going to put the live subscribe account on screen as well to help me get over the line. Love to hit 23 on this one. Is Son being overlooked? He's my vice captain this week. Yeah, I think good fixture for Spurs. When you have a look at how defensively problematic we saw Manchester United in terms of the number of shots they've conceded, I think Son could be a great pick. We don't know at the moment who's on pens. I'm hopeful because Maddison's in my team that it's Maddison on pens, but it could be Son that is on pens as well. So that's just something that we need to keep an eye on in the the games that are coming up. Maddison's tending to take the set pieces as well, but, you know, Richarlison really failed as the number 9, so we could see Son moving into a central position as well, which would really help his output as well. So lots to think about there, but some good underlying numbers from Son, so I really think he could come good. Oh, we're doing well, guys. We've got 42 left. We've got 12 minutes. Remember, the deadline is 6:15. Do not miss the deadline. Muffin Meow says, I have to start a Doji. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Don't make a transfer. I think you should probably get a start, and then that's obviously going to help you out as well. Thanks for the support, guys. If I just jump back to my team so that you can see what's happening. I will keep looking on the tweet deck as well. Yo-Yo says bench Botman or Gabriel. In terms of the options there, I think I would bench Botman. Shamil says keep Diaby if you have him. I've got to agree there. Great underlying numbers, great fixture. If we just have a look at the stats for Diaby. 3 shots, 2 in the box, 1 big chance, 2 key passes, an XGI of 0.6. Again, really great. And keep remembering, guys, you can join Fantasy Football Hub to get all of the tools that I'm showing you on stream with 50% off right now. So make sure that you're doing that as well. Keeping an eye on these questions then. Arman says Alvarez to Jackson or Watkins or Roll. I'd keep Alvarez. Don't be worried about the flag. I think he'll still start. What's happening on the tweet deck? Anything else? We've got 10 minutes now till the deadline, guys. Everything going to spring into life. The news column, it's probably just a Friday night thing, is very quiet. Here we go. Sprung into life again. Nothing too exciting there. I think we're safe. Do I stick with Haaland captain then? I think I'm committed. I think. I'm not ultra confident, but I'm hopeful. I mean, I've been on Haaland captain too long to change my mind now. So it's really difficult to make any late changes. Femi says start Henry or Gabriel. I would... It is honestly a 50-50. But I think probably Henry's safer because he's going to start. He's got attacking threat. Toxic says Edison alternate in goal. Start, turn... turn adjust. I think it's only Martinez or Alisson that would play ahead. Oh, I'm getting bullied now into trying to captain Salah. I can't change my... It's really difficult when you're a content creator because once you've gone on about something for long enough, you've got to just own the decision. So I think I am going to stick with Haaland captain. It's a big decision, I get it. But yeah, I think I'm happy. I think there's hesitation in there. We'll see. We'll see on Monday when I'm back with the content whether I'm still smiling or not. Gotta just go with those decisions. Daniel said big up Shandy. Thank you. Oh dear. We're getting there. We're close to the deadline. We've got 8 minutes to go now. I'm definitely getting bullied here. Stop doing it. Another struggling with Edison v Turner. Go Turner, have some fun. So I'd say, don't blame me if it goes wrong. We're 29 subs off 23k, guys. Should be amazing. Balaji. Should I keep Diaby? Yes. I'm not putting it down to a vote who I captain this week. I'm on Haaland captain. I'm not changing now. Stephen says 3.5 million in the bank to go to captain to Salah from Rashford is really tempting. I think if I was in that position, I would probably do it because Salah just looked great against Liverpool. I think he's going to do really well this week. Just not as well as Haaland. Luis Diaz, captain thoughts. No, I wouldn't do that one. Hobob, should I transfer Stones out or roll? I think if you can afford to roll, then roll. We're getting really close now to the 23k. Mr. Sightmaster says, any Gabriel news? I think he starts. I need him to start because I haven't really got any cover on my bench, and I'll be a lot in the same situation. I've not got time and rate to go on Discord to look. You can ask your question in here if you drop your team, but can only really do a full rate my team on the super chats at the moment. Brett says Chilwell or Jackson as a captain. I wouldn't go there. I think both will do well this week, but I don't think I would captain. Ibby says Matoma or Mbomo. I think Mbomo on pens just edges it. Foden or João Pedro's a really tough one. João Pedro's on pens, again, probably edges it. Mohammed says Mbomo in for Eze or roll. I would just roll on that one. I sound like I'm advertising a pastry brand there. Anything else on the tweet deck? Some more news from FPL Heisenberg tonight. Aurier, Aina, Danilo all-star, as do Turner, Awoni, Gibbs White. So there's the team news if you was looking for early team news. Lots of people on FPL Twitter are on Turner over their backup goalkeeper. We're 20 subs off now, guys. 20 subs away from 23k. So if we can end the stream with a bang, that would be great. Innie says start Gabriel or Rico Henry. I think just Henry. Meow's scared of Mbomo. I can understand that. Haaland out is madness. Who's doing Haaland out? Akshat said, I just came in. What did I miss? Any injuries? Stones is out. James is out. Turner starts. A lot of managers going Turner this week. Come on then, guys. Help me out. Try and get to... Hang on. Get the right screen. 21. 23. Can't even get my numbers right. If you don't subscribe and you're watching now, hit that subscribe button. The support's been amazing. Keep it coming. Salah or Haaland captain has got to be your decision. I am on Haaland captain, but Salah's still a good pick. Trent captain in the chat. That is a big one. Gusto or Colwell? I think Colwell's safer for this week, but if you can roll the transfer, maybe it's Gusto next week. 380 people in is amazing. Eze or Matoma? If you've got Eze, hold Eze. We're counting down. Baldock starts. Does he? Where are we? Where are we? Give this a refresh. Have we got some team news? This is not the time for the computer to go on a go slow. We are 4 minutes off from the deadline. I can't see anything about Baldock starting. Let's give it a search. FPL tips _zone. Never heard of that account before. Just FYI. One to keep an eye on. It would be nice to have a first sub. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens. I think we're going to make it, guys. 22,996. 4 more people. There'll be someone there now. I think I'm going to unsubscribe. Killer Rat's going and Bomo Watkins bench João Pedro. That's tough. Oh dear. But yeah, away from home, I think probably got to do it. 400 of you in. Bench Onana for Turner. Are you going to bench Walker? Chilwell, Saliba and Estupinan, yeah, I agree they're better picks. 998. We're getting there. We've got 2 minutes to the deadline though, guys. Do not miss it. I'm going to have to go back because I want to have my team on screen when it's the deadline. We need to check out this Baldock news. If he's in the squad, that's phenomenal. I don't think we're going to get it. However, still, it'll be good. Have we made it? 97, come on. We've got 2 minutes to the deadline. Here we go. Does Pedro have a higher XG than Vista? Well, he's on pens, so for that reason, yeah, probably. There we go, we've made it. Thank you so much. Amazing support, guys. Honestly. Here's the team then. With, JA was my 23,000th sub. Thank you. I love it. Here we are then, guys. We are 1 minute out from the deadline. It's earlier this week, so do not miss the deadline. Lock in. This is where I'm at. Haaland captain, Salah vice captain. What will be, will be. Thanks, guys, for the congratulations. Honestly, I just really want to keep growing the channel, so everything that you've done in terms of liking the video, supporting, I really do appreciate it. It helps me to keep me motivated, keep putting out more great content, which I'm going to keep doing. Deadline streams every week. The press conference stream earlier was just amazing support as well. So it means a lot to see you all popping up in the chat as well, saying congratulations. This is just the start, hopefully. Hopefully a lot more to come from me. Rupam, Matoma Rareze, keep Eze. Sonny Captain Turner, you must be joking me. It's not too late. There's a minute to go. Is the website still working? It's gone. Deadline is gone, guys. Wow. What a week. Honestly, thank you so much to everyone that's watched. Double stream days are going to continue into the next couple of weeks because it's more Friday deadlines. But, honestly, the support from you guys with all the comments and likes and that just makes it so much easier for me. Keeps me motivated with the grind of YouTube comments, content. So thank you so much for your support as always. I hope you have a really great game week. I really do. Fingers crossed. Especially if you're on Haaland captain over Salah. Hope that one pays off because I'm going to come in for some criticism next week if Salah smashes it and Haaland blanks. But it's too late now. The deadline has gone. We will know by this time tomorrow whether we've got the captain decision right or not. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll be back on Monday with the Game Week 3 deal sheet. I hope you have a great game week. Thank you so much for watching.